What's up guys, I'm Aditya from fastbatch.com and today let's compare the Nightscape mode on OnePlus 6T with the Night Sight mode on Pixel 2 XL. I've always wanted this comparison because we now have the night mode on many different phones, so I wanted to know how it competes against the Google Pixel because Google kind of created the night mode in the first place. So let's start this camera test. Now before I compare the two phones, let me first show you the images of OnePlus 6T's auto mode and the night mode so that you get a basic idea of how it works. And guys, I am not a professional photographer, so please don't consider this video as an in-depth camera test. Now as usual, the first thing anyone would want to do is try the Nightscape mode in a near dark place, and I don't think that I need to explain what's going on in these images, but one thing that you should note is that in the auto mode, the scene is looking darker than the real life, and that is why you are seeing this drastic difference between the photos. Let's take another picture. Now it is not exactly a dark place, and here the Nightscape mode is trying to balance the light across the entire scene. And yes, it is making the image look somewhat dull and flat, but at the same time it is adding more detail to it, like the text on the whiteboard and on the glass. One area where I found 6T struggling is when you have an object in the frame and it is not stable. Like you can see that Captain America in this image is looking blurry, and it's all because I could not stabilize my hand for like so long. Obviously when he's standing somewhere, the Nightscape mode is able to make him look much sharper. Now let me show you some more images so that we can compare the night modes on OnePlus 6T and Pixel 2 XL. And guys, I'm using Pixel 2 XL here because the two smartphones have almost the same price tag, so I think it would make sense to compare them. Also, I made a separate video on Pixel 2's night sight mode, so do check it out using the link above. Now let's compare these two photos, and here you can see that the colors of the Pixel 2's image are more on the natural side, and also it has more detail. Like if you zoom into this manhole cover, you'll clearly see the pattern that is drawn on it. Also check the fencing at the back. If I zoom in towards the right edge, you can clearly see this pattern as well. However, there is one area where 6T takes the lead. It's trying to reduce the glare on the lit part of the photo, and so you can see that the text is more visible, although its edges are not as sharp, and you'll notice this thing in almost every image that you compare. For example, the same is happening here also, and you can see that the 6T has reduced the light intensity and the leaves that are closer to it are more visible. However, the rest of it just tells the story of Pixel's victory. Now, this is a very tough situation for cameras when there is a light source in the frame, but still, if I zoom in, the trunk of the tree is looking much better in Pixel 2's image. Also, you can check the board on the left and also the ground, it's more detailed. And here if I remove the light source from the photos, still the Pixel 2's image is giving better results. It's more dynamic, you have deeper blacks, the color shades are more vibrant, and here the Pixel 2 has created a darker shadow of the tree, but you can still see the leaves that are lying on the ground more clearly. Now it's not the case that 6T's Nightscape mode is losing every time. For example, take these two images. Here 6T has done a better job in terms of sharpness than Pixel 2, although the entire scene has a yellowish tint. But if you zoom in towards the flowers, you can see that the Pixel 2's image is all whitewashed, while 6T has retained the shadows on the leaves. Now if we compare the images of humans, you can see that my friend is blurred out in the image taken by 6T, and here also it is kind of a similar story going on. But it's somewhat expected because the mode is not made for humans, and that's why the name is called Nightscape, and that means landscape photography at night. Anyway, here you can see that Captain America is sharper in 6T's image. Now here I can't pick a winner because this is a point where different night modes seem to struggle a lot. So what we can do is we can be as stable as possible and hope that everything would be fine. Moving on, you might have realized that the Nightscape mode on OnePlus 6T isn't that good. I mean, it seems to be a game of hit and try, the images look cartoonish, and seriously it needs a lot of improvement. Now let's check out some more images that I took using the Google Camera mod, or Gcam for short, on the OnePlus 6T. I guess you already know about this, but if you don't, then I'll add a link in the description below. So in this same photo outside the mall, you'll be surprised to see how just changing the software alone can make a lot of difference. I used the same OnePlus 6T camera setup, but the two images seem as if they are taken on different phones. For example, if we zoom in towards the fence, the Gcam app surely beats the stock camera app on the OnePlus 6T. And also here you can see the drastic changes in the sharpness levels, But one thing that hasn't changed is that it's still very hard for Gcam to show the objects that are illuminated, that are bright. And here also the OnePlus 60's Nightscape mode is showing the text more clearly. Similarly, in this image, you can get the deeper blacks with extra detail that OnePlus 60 can't give you with its stock camera app. And if we talk about humans and low light scenes, the Gcam mod is giving a tough fight, like here. But OnePlus is also trying hard, like this image. It is not bright, but you can still see the text on the notebook. Also here, the Captain America is looking much better in 60's image, but the Gcam image is looking much brighter and you can see the chair in the background. So it is clear that we shouldn't blame the camera hardware on the OnePlus 60, and I think it is quite capable. In fact, it's the Nightscape technology that needs a lot of improvement. On the other hand, Google's Night Sight has to improve on making brighter objects sharper, so I think Google has to improve on that part. One downside of OnePlus 60's Nightscape mode is that it doesn't work on the front side. Yes, it doesn't work on the front camera. So what you can do is you can either use the Gcam mod, or you can live with it if you don't use the front camera that often. So these were my views on Nightscape and Night Sight, and guys, I understand that each of us has a different perspective. So what you can do is you can use the download link in the description below to get the images. Then you can compare them and you can tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, if you like this video, then you can give me a thumbs up. If you loved it, then you can hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and we'll send you more awesome videos real soon. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, and I'll talk to you in the next one.